Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back, and it is time for another product review. Now this is kind of going to be a two-part product review. I'm going to be doing the case this week, and then in the next product review video I will be doing the wireless charging stand. They're kind of a set from Spigen, but kind of not, and I want to keep the videos a bit shorter, so we're going to split them up. Now this is the Tough Arm Revolt case that goes for $29.99 on Amazon, and let's get right into the video. So this is the Tough Arm Revolt case. Now of course it looks just like the Tough Armor, aside from one major difference here, which is the wireless charging plate and of course the ribbon cable with the lightning plug on the bottom of it coming out. Now all the ports and pretty much everything looks exactly the same except those couple of additions. Now I did have a Tough Armor case for my iPhone 5S here, and I really love this case. As you can see, there are some scratches which they have solved, which I'll show you in just a second. But I really love this case, so when I went to look for a replacement case for my iPhone after that Anchor case that I didn't like a whole lot, I figured why not get a real Tough Armor case instead of that rip-off Anchor one. So I was shopping around and I realized why not get the Volt one, because it's basically the same thing but with that wireless charging edition. So let's grab my iPhone and slip it in there so you can see how that looks. It fits of course very well, it fits perfectly in fact. And you see you get all your buttons here, very easy to push on the power and volume buttons. You get a nice big cutout for your mute switch here, plenty of room there. You do get an Apple logo cutout, which I really appreciate in cases, it just looks kind of nice. Plenty of room at the bottom here. You see you have a spacious headphone jack, so even like my Audio-Technica AT-HM50 headphones fit just fine in there. Plenty of room in the lightning port here for if you want to use other cables. There's a thumb hole there, so when you slide that in, there's a thumb slit here that you can put your thumb in and pull that out for when you need to use other cables. And then of course you have a hole for your speaker down there. Now as I mentioned earlier, my last one scratched a lot on the back, which was one of the only problems I had with it, and they have solved that with these 4 little feet around the corners here, so when you lay it down it does not hit. Same with the screen, of course. There's a bit of a lip here so you don't scratch your screen when you set that down on it. So I really like the look of this case. I just really appreciate the way it looks. I like that there's an Apple logo cut out. I like that it kind of maintains the iPhone 5 and 5S look here with the split at the top and the bottom, and then the big sheet of metal like in the middle. It is fully plastic, of course. In fact, it's kind of got a rubberized texture, which is kind of new from the last one. It makes it a lot easier to hold on to, especially if you have a bigger phone. Now, of course, you can buy these wireless charging cards from third parties, but then you have to get another case, try to fit it in there, try not to get it to slide around. This one has a groove to fit in, so it's just kind of convenient. Plus, you get a better price when you kind of bundle the case and the card together. So really my only problems with this case again are the fact that this kind of gets in the way if you need to plug it in, because like in a car or like in my living room I have just a regular lightning cable and I have to take that out when I want to use it because I don't have wireless charging pads either of those places. The other problem for me is that I do have one of those Spigen magnetic air vent mounts in the car that goes on your air vent, and I'm not supposed to use that with this. There's not room for it like the previous Spigen case I had, and they don't advise you use it, I guess because of like the magnets and the wireless charging chip in here. But for whatever reason that's not recommended. Now I think I could stick it on the back and it would probably be fine, but I don't really want to look at it. I don't think it'd look particularly great just being right in the center of the back here. So aside from that, I mean, it's a little sharp at the bottom. That's one thing I've noticed going from my 5S case to this one, is these cutouts here are a little sharper, just the edges of them. When you like rest your hand on them, they do get kind of sharp. Most of the rest of it feels pretty much exactly the same, but there are just some minor differences in like the material of this fake metal thing, and then these cutouts seem to be a little sharper for some reason. I'm not entirely sure why. But overall, I would give the Spigen Tough Armor Volt case a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Now, that is both for the sharpness of that, and then the original case I bought, I did have to send back to Amazon because that stopped working. Now, I believe that was because I did something to the ribbon cable, plugging it in and unplugging it repeatedly because I was playing with it when I first got it. I'm assuming it's my fault or it's just a defective unit. Either way, I don't really want to hold it against them too much, but you know, anytime you have to send something back, you're kind of going to be a little salty about it. So I'm going to kind of assume that that's just kind of a fluke. This one should be fine. I wouldn't worry about it too awful much. since I've gotten my replacement, it's been absolutely fine. This has been perfect, and it's worked every time with the wireless charger. But that's just something to keep in mind, so I will dock it a point for both of those. Half a point. But aside from that, there's really nothing wrong with this case. I really love it. I would recommend you get it. Or if you don't really care about the wireless charging, you could just get the tough armor case or the slim armor case. They're pretty much the same concept, just without the wireless charging, of course. So thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider liking and subscribing, as it really helps me out and I really appreciate it. I post new videos every single Sunday, so definitely stay tuned for that. But until next week,
maybe I've been slipping back, heading south, car sick on a Tuesday, missing cash, blacking out, heartless in a few ways, shit for luck, elbow shredded, I held things steady like too late, please calm the fuck down, I'll do whatever you say, I get it, I'm living too hard and it's time that I stop it, go rising on up and then tumbling down, well it's part of the process.